Now, I'm going to give you 4 examples of how clients of mine have used the cash value in the past. Robbie, if the client had a 50% income goal, in this case $75,000, okay, in the parking lot, you with me? At the point the client gets to $75,000 of the cash value, they can move all or a portion of the money that's sitting in underperforming bank accounts to somewhere else in the model, couldn't it? Okay? So it's a permission to move underperforming assets. That's one option. Another option is college education. For those of you who are working with couples who have school-age children, they're planning for college. Think about this. If you're using permanent life insurance as part of the college strategy, is that strategy protected in the event of a lawsuit? Yes or no? Is it protected in the event of a disability? Yes or no? Is it protected in the event of a premature death? Yes or no? Is it protected in the event of market crash? Okay. Could you think of a better plan to fund college for your kids versus just maybe a 529? Hoping maybe not sued, hoping that you don't need to save it, hoping the market does what you want it to do. It's another example. Third example. Cash value has been an instrument of liquidity that clients of mine who own businesses have used to expand their businesses. They just were their own bank versus going to the bank trying to convince them that they needed to loan them money. Sometimes Bert not getting the rates they wanted. They didn't want to mess with it. They just, as Todd said yesterday, just wrote themselves their own check, so to speak. A fourth option. Some of my clients have looked at the cash value as just another source of income in retirement. Through either a loan or dividend withdrawal or whatever they want to do to take and access the cash value as our source of retirement income. Now, we talk about it all the time. Freedom, flexibility, and control. One of the things that I love about this is we have the opportunity to talk to the clients about different dividend options. They can take the dividends out in cash. They could use it to reduce the premium. Let's say they have a downturn in their industry and their salary or their job gets cut. And they certainly want to maintain this policy, but their cash flow is a little different. Maybe I need to, for a period of time, use the dividend to help pay the premium until my job recovers, for example. I could use it to purchase paid-up additions, paid-up additional insurance. I could allow it accumulated interest. I could use it to buy one-year term insurance. Or if I borrow it, maybe I could use it to pay the loan interest or pay back the loan balance. It's my money. One of the things that the lady in Miami said that she hated about insurance was she felt like she was putting money away in a box and could never touch it. She had no idea she had this amount of flexibility and control of the cash value. Does that make sense? Question? Now, before we leave the cash value, I want you to look at the offensive part of the model. I want you to put a $ in S9. Qualified plan drawer, S9. I want you to put a $ in G6. And I want you to put a $, in G8. Because see, what I find is most of the clients I meet with, that's where they're offensively building wealth. In their qualified plans, in gross securities, non-qualified investments, and in their home. Now, when you think about growing, Mr. and Mrs. Client, money in your retirement account, is that with or without risk? Okay? When you think about growing wealth in gross securities, is that with or without risk? When you think about growing wealth in your home, is that with or without risk? So all of a sudden, the things that you're doing to accumulate your maximum financial potential are all based on what? Risk. Isn't it nice to have one drawer in the offensive part of the model that's based on what? Guarantees. It's kind of like the old Aesop's fable of the tortoise and the hare. We got both of them in the race. It's why my clients came in several years ago with their tail between the legs, because the market and the risk they were facing was kicking their butt. But I said, you're okay, because your cash value just keeps plodding along and growing. Everybody got it? Okay. Okay. All right. So, any questions? So all I've done is I've shown you all the ripples that occur from now to the day the client retires. So everybody got it? Any questions about that? Any questions? Now, the last. Those are the living benefits of whole life insurance between now and the day you retire. Now I want to help you understand how you can explain asset insurance. Okay? The last ripple before we move into the distribution phase on this Whole Life 101 is I want you to draw an arrow coming out of the life insurance door, and I want you to write the words asset insurance. That's the last ripple. So we've looked at all the drawers of protection. We've looked at the cash value. We've looked at the ability to avoid certain costs, the flexibility, the freedom and control it provides. And now the last thing that you have as a ripple before we go into retirement is the role of insurance as asset insurance. So let's talk about how we would explain that. All right, so grab another bottle. What I want you to understand, and what we're going to use this model for, is helping your clients understand the role of asset insurance when they go to retire. Now, this is something that I use with my clients who are close to retirement, in retirement, as we talk about retirement. What I try to help them understand is they're going to find themselves on what I call a retirement seesaw. On one side is maximum retirement income. On the other side of the seesaw is maximum wealth transfer. Everybody got it? So, one of the things that I like to ask my clients is this: is your goal to create more wealth in retirement, or the ability to spend and enjoy more wealth? Let me say that again. Is your goal, Mr. and Ms. Client, to create more wealth in retirement, or create the ability to spend and enjoy more wealth? What do they say? Spend and enjoy more. Okay? So how can we do that? Well, one of the ways we can do that is we'll just take as much retirement income out as we can, and that means we leave little or nothing behind for my family. That's one of the options. Everybody got that? Okay. There's another way we can do it. And I don't really feel comfortable with that. We'll go the other way. I'll take the least amount of income out of the model in retirement that I can, so that I pass on the most. So I can either go this way or this way. Now, typically what I hear is, well, nobody left me anything. I've already taken care of my kids. I'm going to spend every dollar, and the last dollar I spend, I'm going to fall in a box. You ever heard that? Okay. I love those gruff old dudes. They look like Graham. Okay?
Hey.
Now, if the world was correct, and it was either or, you could either have the maximum amount of retirement income, or you could have the maximum amount of wealth transfer, I would understand that sentiment. But those people turn into teddy bears when you tell them there's an opportunity to do both. Have maximum retirement income and maximum wealth transfer. You can throw away the pressures and the anxiety of the seesaw trying to balance, because you actually can do both. Does that make sense? Now, how do we do it? So, you've got a model. At the top of your model, I want you to put the role of asset insurance. I'm going to teach them how asset insurance works. On the top left-hand corner, I want you to write these words: goal. The goal in retirement is maximum retirement income. So Wiley, if we're looking at a model for a client who's getting ready to enter retirement, everybody would love to have as much money coming out of it as possible. That make sense? Okay. That's what we call the distribution phase. Okay? Now, I want you to go down where it says pensions qualified plans. It's highlighted right there. All I want you to do is highlight that drawer and put a dollar sign. Most of your clients, if not all of them, will have some amount of retirement assets in their qualified plan drawer. Agree? Okay. Now, coming out to the left, I want you to draw two arrows. So we'll think in terms of their pension, for example. When they take money out of their pension, they're going to have two choices. One is they can take the payments out over a joint life period, both the husband and the wife, or they can take the payments out over one lifetime. So Robbie, if you were trying to create as much retirement income as possible from your pension plan, would you choose a joint or a single life option? Okay? Joint, sure? So you'd rather spread, but you're going to get more money by spreading all the payments over 2 lifetimes, or you're going to get more money by spreading it over 1. Okay? 1. Does everybody understand that? Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to circle, okay? Highlight whatever you want to do, single. Because that's the choice from that drawer that would tilt the seesaw to maximum retirement income. Does everybody got it? Any questions about that? Let's go to the next drawer. I want you to go to bonds. Clients may have created some wealth in a bond portfolio. Now, they have two choices. They can simply take interest or income off of those bonds, or they can pay them down. So Justin, if you were trying to tilt the seesaw in retirement and create as much wealth as possible from that drawer of the model, which one of those two choices? Would you just take the interest or income, or would you pay it down?
I'll pay it down.
Okay, circle that one. Next, some of your clients will have monies in stocks, mutual funds, Road securities. Again, are they going to just simply take dividends or interest only? Or, in tilting the seesaw to get as much income as possible out of that drawer, are they going to do a spin down? Spin down. Circle that one. Next, I want you to go to personal residence, G8. As we talked about earlier, would you include their home as a retirement asset? I certainly would, or want them to be in a position to do that. Okay? Why? Because they're going to have a choice. Again, if I'm trying to tilt the seesaw, create as much income as possible, am I simply going to have the client live there, or live there and have it generate income? Which one? Good. Circle that one. Okay. One more. Okay. Let's go to, just to put it in a different spot, let's go to G9. Okay. Let's say we have another piece of property. It could be a business. Some of you work with business owners. It could be real estate. It could be anything with a low basis. Now, most people, when they sell it, a low basis asset, after they sell it, they're going to end up doing what? Paying capital gains, right? And then having what's left over to live off of. That's one of their choices. Everybody got it? Another option is, before they sell it, they establish a charitable remainder trust. They gift the asset to the trust. It will ultimately benefit a charity. The asset is sold from the trust. The sale proceeds come back into the trust. Why in the world would someone do that? Several benefits. Number one, no capital gains. Uncle Sam says, you know what? If you're going to be a good enough person to benefit a charity at your death with these proceeds going to a charity, we'll allow you to avoid this capital gain that you would have had to pay had you sold it outright. Everybody understand that? Well, if I avoid the capital gain, number two is I create lifetime income off of the whole